Yeah, no, we're a couple of days into the prep here. Really pleased with the attitude and the effort of our players. The staff's working hard, to help prepare them, give them a good plan so they can go play with confidence. We're excited about the challenge that comes with playing a formidable opponent in Georgia.
First up, we'll go to Edgar Thompson of the Orlando Sentinel.
Yeah, hey there, Billy. I was
Edgar?
wondering, since all is well, I was just wondering, since we're not going to get you tonight, due to the scheduling kind of shake up a little bit, do you anticipate any depth chart changes this week?
No, I don't. And, outside of maybe getting Osiris back, I think that for the most part, we'll be status quo there. Certainly the rotations may change, depending on the last 2 weeks relative to what we've observed. But, we got a lot of positions where we rotate players, and who starts the game and the ratio, whether it's 2-to-1, 3-to-1, whatever the case may be, a lot of that will be decided as we approach the game.
Yeah, Anthony, do you notice a heightened sense with him, the team, the challenge ahead, the opportunity ahead, the rivalry ahead? Do you notice anything there?
Yeah, no, I do believe there's respect, if that makes sense. I mean, I think that, these guys are at the University of Florida for a reason, certainly playing in the SEC, playing in these types of games. They present a great challenge, but more importantly, a great opportunity. And I think they respect the opponent, and certainly they know what's required. I do think that we're working on the consistency, of how we go about our business, not only individual players, but units, teams, staff. Obviously a lot of new players and certainly a lot of new staff members doing it a different way, but there is good energy so far, and we're hopefully we can continue that as we approach the game.
Thank you, sir. See you later this week.
Thank you.
Next will be Glenn Gilbo of Outkick.
Hey, Coach Napier, I wanted to ask you, how would you have handled the post game with a player hitting a fan, which happened in the Alabama-Tennessee game, or shoving a fan? Would you have suspended the player involved, or how do you see that?
Yeah, no, I'm not big into, hypotheticals there. I'm not aware of all the information. I think those decisions are really difficult when you're not right in the middle of it. So I don't have a comment on that. I got a lot more things to worry about than somebody else's problems.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Next is Anthony Dasher of UGAsports.com.
Hey, Coach. When you were recruiting Stetson Bennett for Louisiana, what about him attracted you the most? And as you watch him continue to mature, what continues to impress you about the way he's playing?
No, I just thought he had the guy had a really good skill set. He's a very, very productive player in high school. He's a winner. And he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder that I respected. I thought he would bring a lot to our team. And, playing quarterback, there's a lot more that goes into it than just physical traits. And certainly Stetson's got those things. So, his confidence level comes as a result of a lot of hard work, right? So, he's proven to be an effective player, and I'm proud of him for it, because I got to know him, and I know exactly, him and his family, where they're from, what they're about.
And just one quick follow-up on another subject. Jalen Kimber, how has he looked for you this year?
Yeah, Jalen's done well. Had some big plays earlier in the year. He's battled through an injury, played through injuries, done, really showed some toughness and loyalty to the team, and certainly a young player that, has got a lot of opportunity to continue to improve and develop, but he's got a great attitude. He works extremely hard, and he's a good young player.
Appreciate it.
Next we'll go to Mike Griffith of the AJC.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you about just the Georgia offense and Todd Monken in general, just in terms of the difficulty of preparing for him. I know all these coaches are great coaches, and every game's a challenge, but, does Monken do anything that's, particularly challenging? And then I guess I would ask you, when you prep for every team, do you look at every single quarterback? How deep down do you go? And because it seems like we've seen mostly Stetson. I don't know how much you know about their backup.
No, Coach Monken's a well-established veteran coach. He's got tremendous experience. He's had a lot of success moving the ball and scoring points at a lot of different stops, and certainly a guy we've got respect for. He's utilizing his personnel is what I would say, that they've done a good job creating variables in a couple different groupings. The tight ends make them really unique relative to the number of variables that they can present. And then, creating mismatches, right? And I think when you look at the numbers, they're a very efficient team, on first down, and certainly in the red area, they do a really good job. So, ton of respect for Coach Monken.
Next is David Waters of Gators Breakdown.
Hey, Coach, with even more time in the bye week and you get more time to assess it, how do you take into account player feedback when working through things and solutions to issues that you're maybe having on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I don't think that player feedback ever stops, right? I think that's one of the keys to coaching is you have a great pulse for where we're at, what we need to do. I think relationships and dialogue and just transparency between coaches and players is one of the keys to success, right? So I would hope that that's nonstop and continues to be a part of what we're building here.
Next is Zach Abaverdi of Gators Online.
Hey, Billy, just want to get your thoughts on what you've seen from Kamar this season at safety, and what has he done well when he's been on the field, and then this bye week, kind of what you feel like he's needed to work on.
Kamari, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Kamari is, if we were giving out awards for approach to practice in the last 2 weeks, he'd probably get one. There's a good look in the eye. There's focus there. I think he's showed really good work ethic. I think he's improving as a tackler. He's improving as a man-to-man player, and certainly his ability to play in the post and play in the half. So, Kamari's got a good skill set. He has character. He's a worker. He's got some mental toughness. He realizes that this is a journey, and it requires a lot of time, effort, and energy to develop in this game. And, I think he's got a bright future in front of him.
And then he's one of several freshmen that you guys have had on the field this year contributing. Just what does that say about what those guys have done and obviously, the trust that you guys have in them as a staff?
Well, they've earned it, I think that's the big thing. And I think, regardless of how old you are, how long you've been here, I think we're just rewarding what we observe in the, how they live life relative to their self-discipline, how they treat people, their dedication, relative to what we see in the meetings and the walkthroughs and on the practice field, right? So, I think it's really important for young players to get off on a great start relative to habit building, the mindset, the mentality that it's going to be required to have success at this level. And I think this core group of rookies that we have are heading in the right direction.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you.
Next is Dan Leake of Dog Post.
Hey, Billy, why do you think Kirby's had success at Georgia?
No, I think he's hired really good people. He's obviously the pedigree's there relative to who he's been around from a coaching standpoint. So I think he's taken all the things that he's learned. He's hired good people, and they've stayed the course. I think that's what I would say. I think he stayed the course. So this is there's a lot of parts to a program. You've got to evaluate, you've got to recruit, you've got to develop, you've got to motivate, there's a ton of variables here, and certainly they all contribute when you have success.
Next we'll go to Zach Goodall of DAWGSTRUCTION.
Hey, Billy, there was Trevor Etienne was in a social media post last week in a no-contact injury. Do you anticipate him being on the injury report tonight?
Who?
Trevor Etienne.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Trevor hasn't missed any work with us.
Coach will finish you up with Steve Moulton of WZZN.
Coach, appreciate the time as always, sir. Hope you're doing well. I did want to ask about Trevor and about what you have seen out of this freshman this fall, and did you anticipate him having this big of a role on your offense this year, Coach?
Well, I've known Trevor for a while. Obviously being in the state of Louisiana, he was a good player early on, so we're all aware of his brother and the success his brother had, but I think the big thing here is you got a guy that's smart, he's mature, he's got a certain humility, and he's got a respect for the game and the work ethic and the detail and the discipline that's required to be good, and I think he's obviously there's a little bit of wisdom there relative to observing his brother and his process, recruitment and development, and certainly the success to go play at the next level. So he's got a unique skill set. The vision, the instincts are there, and good contact balance. He's low to the ground and catches the ball well, and he's got good acceleration. So, he's earned everything he's gotten here so far, and he'll continue to do that.
And finally, Coach, given your background and where you grew up, how big of a deal was the Georgia-Florida rivalry there? And have you ever been to a game in Jacksonville? And what are you looking forward to most about getting to Jacksonville for this contest, Coach?
Yeah, no, Florida-Georgia's always been a big deal. Any football fan, coach, player, this part of the country, they understand this game. Haven't ever been to it, but, certainly my focus right now is doing my absolute very best for our current team. We're right in the middle of preparation for the game. And ultimately, I know that game day is a lot more fun when you are well prepared and you can go play with confidence. And that's what we're trying to do for our team right now.